Now, before I get into this video, I want to give an absolutely massive, massive, massive thank you to Box and Talk with Ade. Ade, thank you so much for the shout out. Thank you for the call yesterday. I really appreciated that. Just chatting with you, I learned a lot about YouTube. I learned a lot about a lot of things now, to be fair, talking with you. And, the support you've given me is just, I never asked for it, but thank you so much for the help. And anyone who doesn't know or isn't subscribed to Box and Talk with Ade, he shouted me out. I want to do the same, even though he's way bigger than me. I'm sure there might be people who don't know him. Go and subscribe to Box and Talk with Ade. Fantastic channel. Thank you so much. Now, I want to get into this video. And basically, it's been announced that Showtime are going to pick up the Eubank Jr. James Degale fight. So that's going to be shown on Showtime as well as ITV box office over here in the UK. Now, I've not made too many videos about this fight because, I don't know, for some reason it really didn't interest me when it was originally talked about. But the closer it's gotten and the more, I've thought about it, the more it does kind of fascinate me a bit because on one hand we have James Degale, who, for my money, he's over the hill. James Degale is finished. He's too many tough fights. And I think he's always had the wrong trainer through his career. Jim McDonnell is a good trainer, but for James Degale, I don't think he's the right guy. I think James Degale needed a Virgil Hunter, someone like that who would, teach him a bit more tighter defense. I think that Jim McDonnell was not all wrong, because they've had some success, but I think that, in terms of a trainer, Jim McDonnell, I think Degale stuck with him too long. And Eubank Jr., from a technical point of view, is very, very poor. He has no jab. He really only has an uppercut. He's very good uppercut, but he really only has that. And unless you're coming up to him with squared shoulders, he's really ill-effective. Now, Eubank Jr. was worrying me after the George Groves fight because he was reiterating the fact that he felt he won it. And a part of me kind of thought, how can you improve if you're never going to take responsibility or acknowledge, your mistakes? Well, that being said, he has a new trainer, who I forget the guy's name, but all things are sounding positive this time around for Eubank Jr. And I'm really basing this fight off whether Eubank Jr. turns up or not. Because if this was the James Degale of 2014, we'll say, who was mandatory for Carl Froch, I think even if Eubank Jr. turned up, he'd lose that fight. But we don't have that Degale anymore. We have a shot James Degale, in my opinion. His reflexes slow down. He never really was a big puncher. He's dangerous in the first few rounds. I give him that. He dropped Badu Jack in the first round of their fight and hurt him worse than he was hurting the whole Marcus Brown fight. Marcus Brown, a big light heavyweight, can punch too. He didn't have Badu Jack down. Degale did. So Degale is dangerous early on in a fight, but I think at this stage in Degale's career, he's shot to pieces, I think, at this stage. And I'm basing this whole fight off whether Eubank Jr. turns up and doesn't freeze. If Eubank Jr. doesn't freeze, I think he'll win the fight. Because even though Degale still has the better skill, and I still think Eubank Jr.'s skills are lacking, I think if he turns up, he has enough to beat Degale. I'll put it like that. Now, I could be wrong, and of course, if Eubank Jr. doesn't turn up, then Degale will have a field day with him. He'll school him, a bit like what George Groves did, and Billy Joe to a lesser degree. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on this fight. That's what I'm basing it off of, whether Eubank Jr. turns up or not. I'm still going to go with my gut feeling and pick Eubank Jr. to win this fight on points. But, the closer I'm getting, the more intrigued I am about this fight. And one thing about Eubank Jr. that, me and Addy were discussing is that even though he has poor technique and he has very limited skills, people just can't seem to get enough of him. They love to hate Eubank Jr., a bit like his dad. People just can't get enough of him. And, Showtime picking this fight up, ITV picking this fight up for pay-per-view, I think it will actually do good numbers, believe it or not, because people know Degale, and people definitely know Eubank Jr. So, despite the fact Eubank Jr.'s come off a loss, he fought JJ McDonough, but realistically, he's coming off of his last real fight was a George Groves fight, to be fair. So, people are still interested. And, the winner of this fight, and as I said, I think it'll be Eubank Jr., it's very interesting to see what happens next with the winner of this fight. If Eubank Jr. wins, who does he target at, super middle? Callum Smith, Gilberto Ramirez, if he sticks around, David Benavidez. Or does he drop back down to middleweight and look for a Canelo or a Jacobs? Degale, if he wins, where does Degale go? Realistically, where does Degale go? Because George Groves retired. If Degale wins, would that maybe tempt Groves back into the ring? Maybe. He ain't beating one of the top super middleweights, not at this stage anyway. So it's an interesting kind of idea to see where the winner goes. But yeah, just a quick little video. I didn't really talk much about it now, to be honest. It was more a breakdown, but yeah, Showtime picked up the fight, so it'll be very interesting to see what kind of numbers this fight does. I think it'll do good numbers. I think Eubank Jr. and Degale, this fight's going to be interesting. It's going to do good numbers, and the closer we're getting, the more excited I am for this fight. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and yeah, those are my thoughts on this, so leave yours down below. Again, a massive, massive thank you to Ade. You really just can't describe how happy I am and how much I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and as always, I'll talk to you after.